Howdy. Over the past month, my little bedroom workshop here has gotten pretty messy. I do my best to clean up the main workspace areas, but this little section by the door has become just an awful heap of machines and scrap wood mostly. So today we're going to take a trip to the scrap wood dungeon and organize my collection. The scrap wood dungeon is just my basement. Also, this video is sponsored by the website builder Squarespace. I'll do the ad read later, but I made a whole website for SCRAPWOODDUNGEON.com. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so the main room is back here, but I'll give you a little tour. It's trashy, but it's my basement, don't judge me. We have 6 doors, some nice plywood. There's wood paneling from the cabin that got torn down, seats from my 4Runner and from my Tucson. I've got a kid's bicycle with a steering wheel welded to it from a car, don't ask. Over here we have a bunch of body panels from my car. Here's one of the fenders, also the hood and all the wheels and 3 other mysterious wheels and a spare. And here is the main mess of it, the main scrap wood area of the scrap wood dungeon. When I'm gearing up to build a new table, a new shelf, anything, this is where I come to get most of my construction boards. I grab things on Facebook Marketplace, side of the road sometimes, pallets. Some of these older boards are from building renovations. I've got a lot of deck and fencing boards in here from a construction company that lets me take their scrap. You can get pretty far by just asking. Most Harbor Freights even will let you take their shipping pallets after the truck comes in. Not to mention all the stuff that comes from just old projects. Movie sets that got deconstructed, or even friends projects. When people have extras left over, they know I'll take it. Check out this piece. This came off a piano. Me and my friends ran this art installation in our hometown where we'd put a piano out every summer and paint a new mural on it. So this was my work, kind of emulating some of the spacey cityscape street art stuff. Anyway, enough yapping. I'm gonna bring down the rest of the boards that are still upstairs in my workshop and figure out a way to get some of this organized in a reasonable manner. I'm excited. This is very long overdue. Some of these I actually got to disassemble real quick. This is still kind of framed up from when I disassembled the standing desk the other week. A lot of good 2x4s and screws in there. See, look at that. Bunch of good 2 to 3 footers. There's a random piece of plywood over here. This whole temporary tabletop's got to go. And actually, I just had an idea. I haven't really known what to do with this flimsy old metal shelf thing. It's not really sturdy enough to be something that I'd want in my studio, and the shelf toppers for this thing are long gone. They were trashy particle board, but this could actually function as a mule for the scrap wood. Is that what it's called? Like a holder where all my stuff slots in and it's nice and accessible. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Alright, let's get this place cleaned up a little bit. The floor is not exactly level over here, but if I just chuck some extra scrap plywood under there, that's a lot better. Now all these shelves should get reconfigured. It doesn't really make sense to have a tier on the bottom because I can just set wood on the floor. So we'll get one set up here. And you know what? I guess at first I was picturing wood going in the long way, but I can also use this for storage of shorter boards going this way, which I'm almost more excited about because I have a lot of that. So all these short 2x4s can go here and even get organized by how they're stained or painted. And the ones that are long enough to fit across can go up here. This is fantastic, actually. I needed this so bad. So far, this is literally all 2x4s, but maybe bigger stuff can go on the bottom, real long stuff on the top, maybe? We are making significant progress here. I've got these huge pieces of old growth, I don't know, 2x16, 2x18. These should just get stood up on the wall or against the car dashboard that's back here. I gotta get rid of this. This is looking great so far. Let's stack some big stuff on it. I think these are old-fashioned 2x6s from when they were actually 2" by 6". I'm putting these on the bottom because I'm waiting to use them until I have like a bench planer or something, because the surface is pretty rough. Then I've got just a ton of these deck boards. Guess we'll go for the longest ones first. I think I'm going to use these to make the overhead shelves on my new workbench. Also worth noting, it is pretty dry down here. Humidity is always a consideration for anywhere you're storing wood. You don't want it to rot or get moldy or anything. That's bad. When I pick up scrap wood, especially like these deck boards, I try to pick through and only grab the stuff that's going to be really useful. Nothing too warped, nothing rotted. But sometimes, you know, somebody's getting rid of a bunch of wood from a renovation on Facebook Marketplace and they just want it all gone. So I'll usually sort through after I bring everything home. Or sometimes you'll get like an 8-foot board that has a good 6 feet in it. Chop the end off and just use that part. Alright, got a little stack of 2x8s there too. This shelf is probably overloaded from what it was intended to do, but seems fine. With all that taken care of, this is looking really nice. Most of what I have left are these little 1x3s and a bunch of longer 4x4s and some oddball stuff. Looks like I can actually buy myself some more space to stick some of this tongue and groove in there. And then we'll find a place for the bigger wood after the ad break. It's Squarespace, folks, the all-in-one site builder that you've probably heard of before. If you're anything like me, you're probably involved in way too many creative pursuits at once, and every time you get really excited about one, you buy a new website domain that you never do anything with. Well, if you finally want to make something with one of them, Squarespace has all the tools you need. I built a simple little gallery website for the Scrapwood Dungeon with it to test it out, and it is very easy to make a good-looking site with this. Great for putting together a portfolio, showing off your art, but also if you got a small business, whether you're selling physical products, digital products, or now even services, you can do all that through Squarespace, even buy your domain so you don't have to bother linking everything. Also, if you're selling physical product, you can print your own shipping labels straight through the site, which is something that I did not have with a different site builder that I used in the past. So if you want to tinker around, make a website for free, head to squarespace.com, and then when you're ready to launch, use code EvanMonsma for 10% off your first website or domain. Now, back to the Scrapwood Dungeon. Alright, back in the dungeon, I got a bunch of random stuff here. Throw some other oddball planks up there. These ones are green. More plywood offcuts. The bottom is totally open for some mixed planks. Just gonna throw a bunch of short cuts of wide wood down there. Oh, that's where my really nice hardwood went. I was looking for this the other day making the speed booster. This thing is hefty. Some little pieces of 2x6, 2x4 scrap up there. I think it's good that the lower two shelves come out this way and the higher ones go out sideways, because these lower tiers would get quickly inaccessible if there's too much stuff stacked over there, which there kind of is. At this point, the only stuff down here is long 4x4s, long 2x4s, some metal pipe, 4x4, a piece of the piano, a boat rudder, and the caster footings for my DIY engine hoist. And I think pretty much all that can stack up here, up against the wall. I'm gonna reuse those casters for a table on wheels later. But for now, they can be stashed away. These two long 2x4s actually are definitely gonna be the main parts of my new workbench, so I'll save those to the side. And these 4x4s will likely become the legs. Actually, no, I have shorter 4x4s. Those will become the legs. Lovely. And all the metal pipe and such can go over here for now. And some PVC. And there's the boat rudder. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. That's like a real respectable setup. That went way better than I thought. Alright, that is it for now. The Scrapwood Dungeon is revitalized, at least the important part of it here. I had no idea how much wood I had until now that it's all in the same place. But still, to be honest, I thought that this shelf was not gonna make that much of a dent, but it basically did everything except for the big and long stuff. Now I have a good visual tally of everything that I have instead of it being all mixed up. I can actually find what I'm looking for now when I need it. Spent $0 on this, used a shelf that I was probably gonna toss, and I've got extra room in the basement now. But for today, that is all. Thank you for your time, and I will see you tomorrow. Heck yeah, scrap wood, yeah.